Story 1. Met a guy, we agreed to start dating, had sex, and now I'm feeling confused. I, 28, female, met a guy from college, 28, female, and we recently started dating to get to know one another better. Last night he traveled over an hour to visit me, and we had a good date and had sex. Everything seemed fine, but this morning I felt a lot of confusion, numbness, and sadness. I'm confused on why I like this guy. Pros: I like that we are able to talk about interesting things. I also like the fact he is an excellent student, as it's a value of mine. I also like that he is kind. Cons: he's not the physical type I'd typically find attractive, and it does play with me. While he has attractive features, he doesn't present himself sharply, and I wish he would. He's also a bit awkward and needs reassurance, and I don't feel like building up someone's confidence. The emotional investment isn't there for me. Numbness: after a relatively fine night, we had sex. The sex was okay. He had some performance issues, but was keen on pleasing me, which made up for any lost time. I told him some things I am into, and he told me what he was into. I pleased him by giving him head. To be honest, I usually like to keep going and swallow the load, but I spit. I had no interest in making it hot. I actually kept thinking about my ex, who I had the best sex with. After he came, we went to sleep, and I woke up to him feeling me up. I agreed to have sex again, and he was able to perform better, and while it was nice, it was still disappointing for me. I just found myself numb to emotional, social, and intimate cues. Sadness: I feel sad because I felt confident about being over my ex while building this crush. All evening, I didn't think about my ex, and then once we got intimate, my ex flooded my thoughts, and I realized my feelings for the new guy aren't that strong. I lost any and all excitement, and now I feel I used this guy. The new guy seems really interested in me, and I am just not sure if the feelings are there but clouded with the past, or perhaps I have no feelings for the new guy. Yikes, I don't know. Story 2. Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend if he doesn't want to have sex with me, then we need to break up? My boyfriend, male, 26, and I, female, 21, have been dating for a year or so, just a bit more. Our entire relationship has been very good, and I love him so much. This issue has started within the last 4 months. During the beginning of our relationship, our sex life was great. The sex was good, the amount we had it, all that. I genuinely never foresaw this becoming a problem. However, around the beginning of February, my boyfriend got really sick with what I think was COVID, but he never tested for it. He's fine now, but at the time, he probably lost 10 lbs just from the amount he was throwing up. He was sick for weeks. Obviously, during that time, we never had sex, but we've literally never had sex again since then. Even on our 1-year anniversary, which was in March, he was better, but no sex. Amazing dinner, so much fun afterwards, but literally zero sex. I was slightly confused, but I let it go. After that, every single time I tried to initiate with him, at first it was a gentle rejection that didn't hurt me too much, and then it just became, stop, not right now, with zero effort or communication as to why. I haven't physically changed since the beginning of our relationship. He always told me how attractive I am, and I never had issues before him. I don't think it's me, but I don't know. It's hard not to think it's me after literally months of rejection. He also doesn't even try with me anymore. He still kisses me, even makes out with me, but he will never ever go further. I've tried so hard to ask him why, ask him if he's okay, but he won't communicate. I've tried to offer other kinds of things besides sex, but he doesn't want that either. Eventually, last week, after yet another rejection, I broke down. Crying, I asked him why he was being this way with me. I asked him if he wasn't attracted to me anymore, or if he was getting it elsewhere. He told me all of that was wrong, and he seemed very apologetic, but yet again, no explanation as to why he's being like this. I told him I was so frustrated with him, the situation, sexually, like I just don't get it. He offered no insight, just a bunch of kisses, and I'm sorry. I told him the next morning that we needed to rethink our relationship. If he can't even tell me why he won't have sex with me. I told him if he doesn't want me anymore, then he needs to break up with me and stop playing the long game and make me break up with him. He was so offended and honestly angry with me. He ended up calling me unfair and immature and slammed the door on his way out. We haven't talked much since then, but he's apologized and been adamant that he doesn't want to break up. I just don't know what to do. Am I the asshole for giving him that ultimatum? Would you be able to do this? Story 3. My best friend, 24, female, and I, 24, female, always make out when we're drunk, but we recently had sex, and now I'm confused. What should I do? My best friend and I always make out when we're drunk nowadays, but we recently had sex, and now I'm confused. What should I do? So I've known I was bisexual for a few years now, but like in the hetero-romantic bisexual way. So I have never experienced romantic attraction to girls, just to clarify. My best friend I know has always just seen herself as straight. In college, we drank a lot and would kiss on occasion, but nothing crazy. Pecks throughout the night whenever it happened, but that was it. I recently broke up with my boyfriend some months ago, and since then, the kissing has ramped up to full making out. When we're drunk, not every time, but enough times. We went on a trip with some friends about 2 weeks ago, and on that trip one night, we were all pretty drunk, and me and her went to our room to get something when we joked about having sex with each other. But she ended up being serious. Once I realized that we kissed, and it went from there. The night was still early, so so we spent it trying to get away from our friends multiple times and kiss each other in other rooms, and even while we were sitting with everyone. We were up under a blanket and touching each other's legs and chest a lot. By the time we had sex, things were intense, but I let her lead. This was both of our first times actually having sex with a girl. Even though I knew I was bi, I had never gone all the way with a girl before. And the thing is, I really liked it, and I think she did too. But the next morning, we laughed it off, and we're basically like, LOL, wow, that was crazy. And that was it. It's been on my mind a bit since then, but I'm afraid to have any serious conversation with her about it. I feel like maybe this is just a casual thing we do when we're drunk and it's fun and that's it. Because I honestly never have these urges sober with her. But as soon as we drink, I always want to kiss her. But now the thing is, we decided like a week ago to start making videos together and selling them. We're young and stupid and in our 20s, and I think we just want to be crazy. But we're also about to move in together. We were roommates in college, so this is not new. So we will be living together again and also hooking up pretty consistently for these videos. She told me I was the only girl she could ever do something like this with. I have never really initiated anything with her anytime we've kissed or even when we had sex. Being bi, I felt like that may be taking advantage or something, so she has always initiated with me. So now I'm confused as hell because I've never liked a girl romantically, but I think if I were to ever, it could be her. We're definitely intimate emotionally. We text all day, every day, and I've never texted a girlfriend like that, only guys I've dated. We tell each other everything, and I definitely feel attached to her. I know she does to me too. She's told me she feels almost clingy to me sometimes, but I've always processed this in a we're just really good friends way. Till now. I don't know. I mean, just 2 days ago, we were seeing a friend together and got drunk again, and on the Uber ride home, we started kissing again and touching a lot. And when we went to bed that night, I just really wanted to cuddle her. But acknowledging any of this sober is fucking terrifying. I just want to know where she's at. I really do feel like this is just a dumb thing we do drunk and I'm overthinking it. And if that's it for her, I'm honestly so fine with that. But if she ever told me otherwise, I'm not sure how I'd react. I'm not sure if I like her or just miss physical intimacy. And it's enjoyable with her. Because I also don't care if she hooks up with guys or talks to other people or any of that at all. We're both actively talking to guys right now from dating apps. So I guess, what does this sound like to you guys? And also, I should definitely talk to her about this at some point, right? Too long. Didn't read. My best friend and I kept drunk making out and very recently had sex. We're really intimate emotionally, and I feel like something may be happening here, but I'm in the middle of it and can't tell. Pals help. Story 4, I, 19, female, had sex with my close friend, 26, male, and now I'm confused, too long, didn't read. After that happened, he acted cold towards me, yet he treats me differently than he treats other girls. And he has said some things that can imply he has feelings for me. I think I might have feelings too. We're both scared of ruining the friendship. How should I deal with the situation? We have been friends since 2016. When we met, I had a boyfriend, and he had a girlfriend. They broke up a year later, I think. And since I was quite literally a 15-year-old and he was 21, there was never even a thought of being involved romantically. I actually saw him as a brother-like figure. Until now, that is 2 years ago at a party, a few weeks after my boyfriend and I broke up, we had a moment. We were both tipsy, and nothing really happened except this weird tension. The next day, he acted as if nothing happened. He basically ignored me. So I thought it was in my head or due to the alcohol, but it never really left my mind. And the next time I saw him, I subtly paid attention to his behavior towards me. He is generally a touchy, charismatic person, but especially towards me. He'd insult me as a joke, and then if I pretend to be offended, he would hug me or touch my arm. One time I hit my head, and he spent 15 minutes making sure I was okay, ignoring everyone who was trying to talk to either me or him. I thought this protectiveness also came from us having a brother-sister friendship, so again, I ignored it. Yet, I again kept thinking about it over time. On to 3 weeks ago, I was hanging out with him at his place, and we had a couple drinks too many. He was touchy as always, but this time, it was even more than usual. At one point, he pulled me towards him so that I was lying on his chest. Then, as we were joking around, that same tension from before came back. We looked at each other and he kissed me passionately, like a movie kiss type beat. I was a little shocked, but kissed back. Then, we had sex. After that, we were cuddling in his bed, and he went on a whole rant. He told me he has felt attracted to me since that party 2 years ago, but that, I quote, he didn't want to make a move on me, as he was so scared he'd ruin the friendship. He also acknowledged that I've had bad experiences with previous partners, and he wanted to treat me the way I deserve. I was very happy to finally know that all this time my intuition was right. There was something there. it wasn't just me. After that, he said, "Can you promise me we'll stay friends?" I said yes, as I didn't think there was any romance between us. More so a deep friendship and obvious attraction, which we would act upon this one time. I'll try to sum it up as best as I can. The next day, he acted cold and distant towards me again. I said hi to him and he ignored me twice. He kicked me out of his house an hour later. I was so confused, I thought he regretted it or hated me or whatever. When I got home, I cried about it because I felt so hurt. The next day, I texted him to talk about it, and we talked it out. He said he was sick that morning, which was why he acted the way he did. Kind of weird excuse in my opinion, but all right. Towards the end of the conversation, he said, "I didn't regret it at all. We had fun and we're still good friends." But here's the thing. I know it's cheesy, but I don't know if this was really just a casual thing. At first, I genuinely thought so, but the more time passes, the more I can't stop thinking about him. These past 3 weeks, this has been on my mind 24/7. I'm unsure if I have feelings, but I just sense there's something going on between us. I am a very intuitive person, and to be fair, I was right all these years about the attraction we had as well. He is also the type of guy to never fully open up out of fear of judgment, rejection, or embarrassment, so he might have just said those friends things to protect himself from heartbreak. I haven't spoken to him since those texts. I'll be hosting a small party on my birthday at the end of July, and he will be there. What should I do then? I don't want to reach out to him now. I'm afraid I'll annoy him, and I'm also very busy with college and my job. And so is he. He works full time. Do you guys think there's more going on than he says? Mutual friends who I've asked for advice say they always thought he and I would make a cute couple. My friends who don't know him say he played with my feelings and that I should dump him even as a friend. I disagree. I need some neutral perspectives.